Welcome to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Tim is a retirement and income specialist, certified financial fiduciary, and the founder of SafeMoneyRetirement.com. Tim primarily serves Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Southwest Virginia, but he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Wood is a licensed life insurance professional in multiple states and specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who have already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies using life, health, long-term care, and annuity insurance products. And now, here to talk with you about securing your retirement, your host, Tim Wood.
Welcome to the Save Money Retirement Show. I'm Tim Wood, an asset and retirement protection and guaranteed income specialist. I recently had the privilege and honor of doing a live interview again with Tom Hegna. Now, a lot of y'all already know who Tom is. He's a former lieutenant colonel, one of the top speakers in the country. He has authored 6 books. He's been viewed in over 80 million homes with his Don't Worry, Retire Happy public television special. And he's considered to be the retirement income expert in the United States, and I'm lucky enough to call him a personal friend. Let's go ahead and jump in and listen to part of the interview right now. Tom, these days, most financial investing experts question the 60-40 stock bond portfolio allocation. Why might a retiree consider replacing a bond portfolio with annuities, and what research do you know of that supports this strategy?
You know, it's interesting because in 2016, I wrote an article saying the 60-40 portfolio is dead, long live life insurance and annuities. And the day that came out, I also got a call from Forbes magazine because I didn't know that Forbes subscribed to my newsletter, but they did. And they called me up and they said, Tom, we love that article. Can we put it in Forbes? I said, yeah, sure. Put it in Forbes. So all that article said was that, remember, in 2016, interest rates were really low. Bonds were paying like 1%. Money market fund was paying like 0.15. Go back to those dates, okay? And I said it makes no sense at all to have 40% of your portfolio in bonds that are paying 1% or less. We didn't know when interest rates were going up, but we knew at some point interest rates would go up. And what happens to bonds when interest rates go up? Well, when interest rates go up, the value of bonds goes down. And when that 1% bond that you bought is now, you can buy the same bond for 5%, guess what that 1% bond is worth? It's worth 20% of what you paid for it. So it's down 80%. See, people don't realize that's what happened to the banks. The banks did not get in trouble because they had bad investments. The banks owned U.S. government bonds, the safest investments in the world. The problem was they bought their bonds when they were at 1%. And now if interest rates are at 5 or 6%, those bonds have gone down, 70, 80% in value. They're still going to be worth the same amount once the 10 years or 2 years or however long the bond time period is, that they will get all their money back. But the problem is, if they owned a 10-year bond that was down 80% and somebody comes in the bank and says, I want my money today, well, that's why they had a problem and they had to run on the bank. And so all I said is that instead of putting 40% of your portfolio into bonds, which made no sense when interest rates were 1%, you could argue now that, for the next couple of years, bonds might make sense, because if interest rates fall from here, like you're going to keep raising rates for a while, but eventually interest rates should start falling because inflation started falling. Well, then those bonds will go up in value. Might be a good play for 2 or 3 years, but I certainly wouldn't put 40% of my money into bonds. And so all I said is that why not move that bond portfolio to annuities or life insurance? You get a bond-like return, bonds typically over time, 3 to 6% type of return, but you don't have the interest rate risk, where if interest rates go up, the value of annuities does not go down, the value of life insurance doesn't go down. And so to me, it just made a lot more sense to put 60% of your money in the market and then 40% of your money either in annuities or life insurance. And oh, by the way, Ernst & Young recently came out with a white paper, and you can Google it. You can Google Ernst & Young. They're one of the top accounting firms in the world. They don't sell any life insurance or annuities. And they said the optimal retirement portfolio has 30% into an income annuity, 30% into a whole life policy, and 40% into investments. Now, that's not me talking. That's Ernst & Young, one of the top accounting firms in the world. So, I do think life insurance and annuities can play a great role as a bond substitute. Forbes magazine agreed with me. Wall Street Journal just came out last year with an article that said you should move some of your bonds into annuities. Dr. Roger Ibbotson, all right, he did a whole white paper where he compared a 60% stock, 40% bond portfolio to a 60% stock, 40% annuity portfolio. And he said the annuities outperformed bonds for the last 40 years and are likely to do so for the next 40 years. So I've always told people, you don't have to move your stocks. Get those bonds out of there and put those into an annuity or into cash value life insurance. I think you're going to be very happy if you do that.
Yeah, I agree totally. And a lot of those white papers that you mentioned, like the one from Dr. Ibbotson, you can actually, for any of my listeners, you can get that for free right on my website. Just go to safemoneyretirement.com and click on the media tab. And a lot of those white papers that he just mentioned are right there on the website for you to read for yourself. But yeah, being able to move away from bonds. Now, like you said, especially when the rates are lower and now that they're starting to head back down, it does kind of look like we might be moving back into that time frame again. But thanks for that information. And yeah, everyone just check out the information right on my website, safemoneyretirement.com. You can get those white papers. Tom, do you think people actually hate annuities, or do you think they just don't understand them?
No, I really don't believe that people hate annuities. I believe they're uneducated about annuities, because if anybody tells me that they think annuities are bad, or if annuities are expensive, or annuities are a ripoff, then I know they don't know what annuities are, because you could not read the research I've read and done all the research I've done and think annuities are bad. That'd be ridiculous, okay? Annuities do things that no other product in the world can do. It's just like saying, oh, life insurance is bad. Well, life insurance is not bad. It's the best thing at being life insurance. Annuities are not bad. It's the best thing you got for income for the rest of your life. So, it's about using them properly. Most people don't know that most annuities are not even fee products. You get somebody on TV who says, oh, they got nosebleed level fees. Well, they're talking about variable annuities. They're not talking about fixed annuities, okay? So a fixed annuity is not a fee product. A single premium immediate annuity is not a fee product. A deferred income annuity is not a fee product. A base fixed index annuity is not a fee product, okay? So I just think there's a lot of misinformation out there. And if people just want to go to tomhegna.com, I'll get them straight. I got a YouTube channel. You can watch them. They're all free. And again, I lay out all the research. This is not my opinion. This isn't my ideas. This is the research of the top PhDs in the world, including Nobel Prize recipients.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I also tell people if they hate annuities, then they may as well hate their Social Security, right? Because it's basically nothing more than a government annuity. So they should just send their Social Security checks back to the government. So far, I have not had one person do that, as you can imagine. And the fact that people are online saying, oh, you have all these fees, that you're exactly right. That's a variable plan, which is why and you already know this, Tom, but for my listeners, that's why my company, Safe Money Retirement, we don't deal with any variable plans, none. So yes, every single plan that we deal with, the base plan itself has no fees. And the great thing is, on any of my plans, if they do have fees, you know why you're paying that fee, and you are choosing to pay that fee to get a specific benefit. So yeah, I agree with you totally. They just don't understand what annuities are. And once we can break down that wall and get through that and help them understand, almost everyone I talk to becomes an instant fan. You've been listening to part of my recent interview with world-class economist Tom Hegna. Now, I'm sure you'd probably like to get some more information. We have got a stack of Tom Hegna's books here. You can get a free copy. Just give us a call or log on to our website. Our website, as you know, safemoneyretirement.com, or give us a call, 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. And let whoever answers the phone, let them know you want a copy of Tom Hegna's book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy. We will send you one absolutely free, no charge whatsoever. Ton of great information in there. I highly, highly, highly recommend you get your own copy. Well, I must take a short break. This is Tim Wood, and you're listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show. Let's pause for some exciting announcements.
Have you recently changed jobs and now you have a 401k or another retirement account you don't want to expose to the risk of market loss? You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Since you'll probably start another retirement account at your new job, why not ensure your old account provides you with principal protection, the opportunity to participate in the market with locked-in accumulation, and a guaranteed lifetime income? We can help you roll over the retirement account from your previous employer and identify products that provide the potential of index-linked credited interest while limiting market risk. Did you know that if you're age 59 and a half, you may be able to move money out of your employer plan even if you're still working there? Call us now and ask about bonus options on your retirement money with a fixed indexed annuity. Imagine putting your money on an elevator that only goes up. It might stop on a few floors on the way up when the market index goes down, but you won't go back to visit the lower floors. Our phone number is 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. You can get your complimentary Safe Money Retirement Book and info kit by calling 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Now back to more of the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood.
Thank you for tuning in to the Safe Money Retirement Show. I'm Tim Wood, a market risk mitigation specialist, helping clients with retirement money preservation and income planning. In today's case file, we are going to talk about the story of a dear 89-year-old widow. Her name was Ethel. She came in with a sizable IRA account that she's been withdrawing money from through her RMDs, or those required minimum distributions you've heard me talk about for years. But she wanted to figure out a way to get some growth on the account and to make sure it was going to easily be passed on to her son, who was now at the time in his mid-60s once she's gone. Now, I certainly can't go into it, but I can tell you there was some family drama. So that's why she wanted to make sure that it was going to get passed to her son and it wasn't going to wind up becoming this whole thing once she's gone. So we had several appointments with both her and her son. We did it via FaceTime because she wasn't local. And what we found was a fixed indexed annuity that would do everything they both wanted. So Ethel can access up to 10% of the account value every year with no fees or penalties while the account grows. And the account will grow based on the performance of a market index. So this will take care of her RMDs and any extra money that she might want up to the 10%. So that checked off the first box. Then the second thing we did is we actually made her son the annuitant on the policy, so he would have immediate access to the account should something happen to her. Because if we had just made him the beneficiary on the policy, then it could possibly, there could be some issues. So we made him the annuitant on the policy, giving him immediate access to the account should something happen to her. They were both incredibly happy with the plan. Ethel was literally almost in tears with how happy she was and how great it turned out. And I'll tell you, happy clients make me a happy fiduciary. Well, I'm about out of time, and I would like to thank you for listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show. If you're serious about your financial future, give me a call, and together we'll get your retirement savings on the fast track to accumulate while reducing exposure to market loss. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to the Safe Money Retirement Show with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe from market losses and that you have an income you can't outlive so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call Tim Wood now for your complimentary Safe Money Retirement Book and information kit at 833-413-SAFE. That's 833-413-7233. Or request your copy of Tim's book online at safemoneyretirement.com. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.